Got a huge update coming on the 747. Hello everybody, Big Planes here, and today I'm just going to bring you a brief update on the 747. There has been quite a bit of progress that has been made to this thing over the last few days, and most of it has been just sort of setting the windows in place, setting the doors in place, just sort of understanding how things are going to work. I did redo the tail quite a bit back here to make it a little more sturdy, or sturdier, or however you pronounce that, and I finally have arranged the doors in the way that they're supposed to be. So we have one door up here in the front. We have another one right here, like that. We're going to have a couple right here. I have not gotten the doors themselves in yet. Further back here, we do have another set right here. Remember, these are on each side, so there's one over there too. And then, of course, we're going to have some at the very back. Those have always been there. Now, this door arrangement is actually very accurate to what the real 747 would have been like. So that is definitely a plus. And another thing that I've been working very hard to do is, and this may have been something that you've noticed in a lot of the other pictures I've taken of the 747, but it has a lot of warping issues, especially around here. So lately I've just been taking these big beams and sticking them in there, big Technic beams. I'm trying to reinforce this thing as much as I possibly can because I don't like the warp in the tail. And I've actually been able to get rid of a very large amount of the warp in the tail, and that is definitely something that I'm happy with. And I've also been able to get the dihurial on the tail fins right. You can see back there that they are slightly hinged upward, whereas before they were sagging a little bit more. So that's something that I'm very, very happy with. And the engines are now where they should be. You can see it sort of took out the tail of the B1 over there. It was getting a little bit violent in here. We actually had a couple accidents, which, yeah, let's just say the tail over there is in pieces for a reason. Well, I'll tell you. What happened is I had the tail up here sitting right here on this box. I had it right there sitting up, and it actually tipped over the entire tail, and it landed on the tail assembly here, and it landed on the nose, and it completely crushed the nose. And I have not put together the tail yet, so it sort of did that to the tail, and generally the fins fell off, but other than that it was fine. And my whole idea here when it comes to damage control, as you sort of would when this thing's broken up, if one thing were to fail, like if the landing gear were to fail, I don't want the nose to break, and the tail to break, and the upper fuselage to break. So I only want the part that failed to break. If anything, we don't want anything to break, but we want to limit the damage that is done. So that is why this thing breaks up, and it also breaks up because it gets transported. It needs to be transported quite easily, and you're probably wondering when I say break up, the tail comes off right here, right where that brick is. I lost the tile that goes here, so I'm going to have to find that. That brick is temporary, but that comes off, and the nose up here comes off. So you've probably seen that in a lot of the other pictures I've taken, but that's just sort of describing how it sort of comes apart. Now, what I have accomplished on this one in particular is, like I said, I've got the door arrangements, I've got the fuselage a lot sturdier. This thing could probably take a lot of punishment a lot easier. I've actually reinforced the landing gear, the wing landing gear, so now they're a lot less likely to snap. Before, you wouldn't know when you were just setting the wing down if they would snap, but now they're actually much sturdier than they used to be. So that is definitely something I'm very happy with, and it takes a lot of stress off of that, and that actually takes a lot of stress off of these, which is interesting. So I can get it down here. You can see that these are not taking any weight, and that's interesting. So I'm going to have to do that. Well, we do need to still remember, though, that I have not gotten the tail back here, and I have not put the upper fuselage on. Those are down here. So maybe once I add those back on, the balancing will sort of even back out, but until then, I'm just sort of making sure it's not bending or anything. And really the biggest enemy of this plane is gravity, because it just, I swear, it pulls harder on this thing than any of my other planes, because this thing is just absolutely huge. I think it weighs somewhere around, I think a few hundred, no, nothing. I think it's like 60 or 70 pounds, somewhere around there. It's very, very heavy. It's very hard to move. You have to move it in segments. So that's definitely something that's going to be challenging with this. And this thing is going to Bricks by the Bay 2017 with the Saturn V rocket over here. So getting both of these in our small car is definitely going to be fun. So I'm just going to say that. But I'm going to start talking about the next update here, because that should be soon. I'm just lazy and haven't finished it yet. All the parts are here to do it. You see I'm sort of making the final doors. That's going to be the last one, the doors. I'm going to need 2 more doors here and 2 more doors in the back, so that's a total of 4 doors. And I'm not really in the mood to make another Bricklink order, since that's going to take probably a week to get here, and I'm not going to wait that long, so I'm just going to have to dig around and try to find the parts to make these doors. And when it comes to the interior, when I was doing this, we lost a lot of chairs. You can see a lot of them are in this cup over here, but I'm going to have to completely gut out the interior. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to make it more accurate to what it should have been. Remember, this is now going to be a Pan Am 747, not a TWA 747, so the interior is going to have to be completely gutted, and that does include the front, though I'm not going to take out too much. There's some things that are going to stay the same, though like this right here. These are missing the doors since I needed those tiles, but I'm going to keep the bathrooms. I'm probably going to keep the rear bathrooms too. I'm actually pretty happy with the front. I may make it look a little nicer, and may put some different color carpeting up there, but I'm not going to change too much up here. I'm just mostly going to be changing the seat arrangements and all that sort of stuff, since this is all inaccurate now and off-centered. Now you can see that these doors are leading into chairs, so that's going to need to be changed. So other than that, that's really all that I have for the next update, and that next update should be coming in the next few days here. And I'm very happy that the 747 transformation is coming along pretty well, and I'm looking forward to seeing the completed product. And one last thing, the completed product will have its final decals. You can see this one still does use the TWA decals, and that's because I have just not gotten around to putting the new ones on. The final update should have the completed model here with the new decals, and I think I'll do a new video on this thing, like sort of a final video, because it is going to be sort of a whole new plane when it's done. So that's really all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe so you can help support me build this thing. All the support I can get, all the views, that's very helpful and really motivates me to keep going. And that's really all I've got for this video. So as always, bye for now.